Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
You wanted to get into branch scaffolding, I think.
So
is the
scaffolding,
word
with especially with our deciduous fruit trees, if we want to, and even some of our shade trees that have lost all their leaves, we want to look at the scaffolding of the tree, make sure that we create a balanced tree. Now, if I'm trying to create a tree that becomes a canopy tree, and it's a couple years old, so it's still kind of small, I'm going to be cutting off the bottom 3 main branches every year until I've built the height to the height that I really want it to be and create my canopy. If I do more than that, a lot of times what happens is that the tree becomes a little top heavy. We call it the lion's tail. So it's a lion's tail trimming method. And I don't like the lion's tail trimming method. It's not very effective in creating a shade tree quickly. So if you want a shade tree quickly, you have to be patient. And that patience really comes from just working your way up each year. You're trimming the bottom 3 branches off until you get it to the canopy height that you want. And that'll help you establish a much stronger base of the tree, as well as help build a lot of canopy for yourself that has a lot of shade for you. And so that's an important piece of the puzzle with your shade trees. Now, if you're doing fruit trees, you may not want to create a shade tree out of your fruit tree, because now your fruit is a little harder to get to. If your apples are 30 or 40 feet up, you can't really get to those. And if they fell off the tree, they're gonna break when they hit the ground. So it's like, okay, so if we're trying to do fruit trees, what we're going to do is we're going to try to actually trim that to a manageable size that I can probably still pick with a little hand picker. So maybe I want the tree to max out at maybe 10 feet tall. And so I can still catch everything from a small ladder. Well, if that's the case, then what we're going to be doing is we're looking to create more density inside of the tree. And in order to create more density, we want the branching to happen on a pretty regular basis. So let's say I've got a second-year apple tree and it's been growing, and I've probably got some pretty wispy branches, that it doesn't, like there's a long branch and it goes for 4 feet before it even has another branch point. Well, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually trim that so that I've got about every 2 feet, I'm going to trim it just above a bud point, and that'll be kind of similar to that little collar point. There'll be these little bud points, and I'll just go right above that about 2 feet out. And then what's going to happen is that tree is going to now grow 2 branches, sometimes even 3 up to 5 branches off of that one stub. And that's going to create some increased density on my tree. And so I'll have a lot more branching, it'll have a lot higher density, I'll have a lot more fruiting ends. And that's an important piece of the puzzle. Now, after that first set of scaffold branches, which are 2 feet, 2 feet before they branch out again, if I've already got that established, maybe I did that last year. This year, then I'm going to go the next set of branches out, and maybe I'm going to only let it go a foot before I want it to branch again. So I'm creating an increase in density as I go outside of the tree, and I'm shaping this tree into a very dense, highly productive fruiting tree. And now I've got the start really of a multi-year, very productive agricultural, machine that can just pump out apples or pump out peaches or nectarines or plums for you, whatever the variety that you've got.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.